good to me. Sound perfect, bro. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another great episode of Dance Talk, man. I have a great gentleman here. He's a student of the arts. He's a student of the arts. He's deep diving. He's all over the place looking for the answers. And then at the same time, he's putting on a great performance. If you ask me, he's one of the top gliders right now. Super top gliders right now. I don't care where you from.
Appreciate
My boy has
it.
really been putting it down. You know what I'm saying? If I'm correct, he had one viral joint, or the Braille joint.
Yeah.
I'm saying overall, he's been putting out his content out there. So if y'all seen it, y'all know what I'm talking about. Give this man his flowers while he's here. Yes, my guest today is Tell the World your name, man.
What's good, man? I'm Adisa. I go by Zen Glide. Well, some people call me that. I mean, I guess my close folks, they call me Adisa, but whatever. You call me whatever you want. Call me what you see fit. Anywho, yeah, I go by Adisa, Zen Glide. I'm from the state of VA.
Okay.
Born and raised. I had times where I've lived in New York for some time, definitely. So that's pretty much where I got my, influences and dance from, definitely, for a fact.
Hold on, before we get there. So,
okay.
How was life like for you in the beginning? What was life like in your home? Mother, father, sister, brother? What was life like? What was that like?
Yeah, it was interesting, man. I grew up in a house with maybe 5 or 6 women. It was my grandmother and her 4 or 5 daughters at the time. It was fun. It was interesting. I think we had a lot of good times. It was pretty interesting. We definitely came up, just getting by, really. I'm not gonna say we definitely not a wealthy family. Not even really middle class. We was just getting by for real. I think my grandma had to do what she had to do to, bring to the house and provide. I have a relationship with my father and definitely my mother too.
Okay.
They both are supportive in my life. I just didn't live with them. I didn't grow up with them. I do have siblings. I have 1 brother and 3 sisters.
Okay.
Yes, 1 brother is by my mother. We share a mother. 1 sister we share a mother, and my 2 other sisters we share the same father. Okay. Them 2, they don't share the same mother though. So yes, a bunch of little, regular stuff. That's regular stuff in the Black community.
Okay.
But yeah. So so I got a pretty dope, pretty big family. We're all family of dancers. Funny enough, everybody, literally mostly everybody are dancers in some way.
I remember back in the day when I was living in Cali going to school, you was telling me how your grandfather played a great role in your life. And I mean, I didn't hear you speak of him. So I was like, I want people to know like how much you care about that man, like how dope.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
he told me about him was awesome.
Yeah, he definitely did play a really great role in my life, because he was probably one of the first people that came in my life when I was young that was a masculine energy, a masculine presence, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up around a bunch of women and stuff, so a actual masculine presence that was around. So I learned a lot of that. Also, he inspired me to do martial arts and stuff like that. He's my first inspiration about taking care of my health and everything like that. And he taught me how to play the guitar. So, so he helped me connect, in a lot of different avenues, definitely spiritually too. He definitely helped out with that as well. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy. He's from Jamaica, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually from Kingston. I'm not sure exactly what part of Kingston he's from, but he's definitely from there. So he's pretty dope. Right now, he currently resides in Europe, and he has a band called Crucial Force. He's a part of a reggae band. He's a reggae artist, So
that's dope.
Yeah, he dope, man. He's an awesome guy. He helped me out a lot. He helped me see a lot of things, growing up, as a little boy that I haven't forgot. So yeah,
okay,
dope, man.
So now, overall, would you say you had love growing up?
Yeah, I would say that definitely. Yeah, I definitely would say that. Yeah, they definitely cared for me a lot, for sure. I wouldn't be able to complain about that. I had a lot of love and care, especially for my grandmother. My grandmother definitely was on another level of, making sure I was good, compared to even her daughters, which is sad, but it's true. Yeah. It's true. They used to be, they ain't like that, man. They was like, dang, you treat him like some king or something, you know? So my grandma was very, very much so. She still is very much so, very loving, you know? So that's, I definitely had that growing up. Yeah. I got
So,
it.
all right. So life outside your home, you said you grew up in VA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's life like in VA? What's the fashion? What's the soundtrack? What's going on in your age and your time?
I mean, yeah, life in VA is dope, man. You know, we have a lot of dope, you know, artists from here. The environment is pretty, it's mixed. I'd say, you know, every place got its hoods. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a crime. It's crazy in certain parts of Virginia, especially around my way, a little
How
bit. So,
far? How far is like the clips from where you was raised?
right now, maybe about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, they from the beach, like Virginia Beach. I live in Virginia Beach right now.
Okay.
They was from the beach and also Norfolk, you know, both. So they was raised in the both of those areas. To my knowledge, they from
What
Virginia
about
Beach.
like
Just
Timberland and Missy and stuff? Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got some
They
rich history, so
yeah, oh yeah, VA got some lush history, man. You know, Timberland,
well,
we got
you
Tim.
got some people down there.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely heavy hitters, man. We got Pharrell. You know what I'm saying? We got Allen Iverson from Hampton. You
Back.
know, he played for Philly, but he from Hampton. He from here, Hampton, VA, man. You can hear the accent. He sound like a VA dude.
Chuck, what up, man?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Missy, Pharrell, Timberland, of course, Pusha T, Malicious, of course, from back then. Uh, Chris Brown. He from VA, but he from 80 804 VA,
Play songs.
which is yeah, straight songs as well. Yup, yup, yup. Yeah, so you got, I mean, Teddy Riley. You got a lot of different.
Bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. VA got a lush little history, man. So yeah, you know, they fashioned it around here. You know, they put a lot of artists on too. They had some artists and stuff that's come up and coming, and you know, they do really good. The music scene is dope. The area is decent. They're trying to like uplift it more, make it more entertaining. That's Pharrell's whole vision. His vision is to make Virginia like a certain part of LA in a sense, because he's trying to bring more artsy stuff here. So that's what he did last year. The last 2 years ago was Something in the Water. That was his event called Something in the Water. He brought everybody out. Janae Aiko, Jay-Z. It was everybody out here. It's like a big, big, big thing. And you know, VA never seen anything like that on that scale or level. You know what I mean? Well, some might argue that, but there's no argument, there's no debate. VA has never seen nothing like that. There's too many people, it's too many artists. Like I'm talking about A-list artists. You know, they were out here. So, Pharrell has a lot of connections. Huh?
I'm tell Pharrell send the invite. Pharrell send the invite, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
Lord,
He
I
man
gotta
humble
do
too.
that.
Yeah, he's man humble too, man. My homeboys, you know, connected with him and stuff. We got ties, you know, connections to that area, and we trying to take advantage of that. Actually, you know, we want to be able to get ourselves to the point where we can probably dance for Something in the Water, you know, something of that nature. Yeah, but it's a great event though, Something in the Water. So that's the hot thing in Virginia. Fashion wise, really and truly, man, Virginia got their little style, but really they cop their style really from New Yorkers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
New Yorkers / people from like LA, Cali. They kind of mix and match it. They got their own little stuff, but to me, it's just really from New York and LA as I see. You know,
All
it's
right.
urban.
So what was particularly your style growing up? Like, how did you put yourself together?
I mean, you know, basic stuff. I mean, I definitely had name brands only because my father, he's really big on like making sure you have name brand everything. You know what I mean? My dad, yeah, used to pick me up, make sure I had everything. Latest J's, of course. I had, well, when I was growing up at the time, New Balance, Fila's. I had everything that was out, that was hot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A lot of it, yeah, mostly. I was definitely a LRG man growing up. Definitely a Coogee man growing up in my era, in my time at least, my era. I'm 28 now. So in my time frame, when I was growing up here, you know, LRG was hot, Coogee was hot, Vapor was hot, of course, you know. I was wearing all of those things. I had like the shoes, I had the drawers, I had the socks. Yeah. I had my times, you know what I mean? Had our little throwback jerseys, headbands, all of that. That was all the eras. Yeah, I was able to, I was rocking all of that. You know what I mean? I definitely had my times.
So, what's the environment like? What's the culture at here? Like, Granted,
Yeah.
you're coming into your team. So like, what are you seeing? Like what
Yeah. Oh man. Coming into my teens, seeing like what I saw up there out here. I mean, man, it was a very big gang phase, like a super ultimate gang phase. It was like crazy. You couldn't go outside at certain times. People was always getting jumped. People was always getting killed, unfortunately, as well. You know, like random drive-bys, because they would do like drive-by stuff to like initiate people in certain gangs. So they'd kill people just random. You know, I mean, maybe 3-4 years ago that happened out in my neighborhood. Now it's, you know, they growing up, it was definitely like that. A lot of fights in school. Kids like coming from other schools to come to this school, my school. I went to Indian River Middle School. We have like a bus ramp and shaped like a little U, like a U or like a type of half a box. And we would just see random dudes like walking up. They had their little Crip flags on. Some of them had their blood joints. I ain't even know them. I was like, who are they? You know, it's like a new character in a show, a TV show or something. It's like it just appeared. They just appear out of nowhere. It's like you just come out of nowhere. They just start rumbling the dudes, you know. That was in middle school and high school too. High school got worse. That's when I noticed.
High school you went to?
I went to Indian River High School in Virginia, in Chesapeake, Virginia. Originally, I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia. I was born in Portsmouth. Nobody know that, but I was born in a place called Portsmouth, Virginia, which to me, Portsmouth would be the Virginia equivalent of the Bronx. So, yes, I would consider that's where Miss Elliott is from. That's where Missy's from. Portsmouth is really rough. Wow. She's from Portsmouth. I'm actually also from Portsmouth on a low, but I was raised in Chesapeake, so I went to Chesapeake schools. Okay. Chesapeake was in the middle ground because you got something called South Norfolk, a part of Chesapeake, right? South Norfolk is like Brooklyn. That's the Brooklyn of Virginia, for a fact. Even when Brooklyn people move here, they go live in Norfolk. Funny enough, because the environment is very similar. Got a feel like it's similar. It's where everybody artsy. It's where all the creative people come from, because of the pressure and the grime. That's why. Okay. But anyway, they have a district in Norfolk that's on the borderline of Norfolk and Chesapeake, and they call it South Norfolk. And they consider South Norfolk to be Chesapeake. So all those bad South Norfolk kids would go to the Chesapeake school. You know, those Norfolk, they have the mannerisms and mindset of a Norfolk dude, you know what I mean? And they would carry that over to the Chesapeake schools. And some of them were moved to my district. So it was crazy because of that. Then you had in Virginia, y'all, like in New York, y'all call y'all's the P's, like the projects is the P's up there. Yeah. Out here, we call them parks. Like, for example, you got Tidewater Park, Oak Leaf Park, you know what I mean? Diggs Park. We call them parks out here. Okay. So we have some parks that, you know, is in Chesapeake too. For example, we have Pleasant Park. And Pleasant Park was home to a gang called ABM at the time. All About Money, that's what they was called. You know what I mean? And they was wrecking havoc, you know, in the streets at one point. They was the hot boys. Everybody knew them. If you was a part of it, you was getting all the girls. Everybody's messing with you. And, you know, they had a time, you know, as well. So growing up, it was a gang era. It was some kind of gang thing over here. I don't know. It's just like, it's a gang. Yeah, it's a gang phase, like, you know, super gang phase in Virginia. Other than that, it was really fun. You know, classic stuff growing up, definitely, you know, sleepovers, going with your friends' places. I'm talking about when I was younger, then going with your friends' places, going to kickback parties, all kinds of stuff, man. Clubs after a while when I turned 18. It was hot, man. Yeah, it was definitely hot. Then that environment connects to my dance career. I know you're going to get to that part soon.
I'm glad we hit. So now, where did you find dancing and where did dancing find you?
Yes. So dancing is in the bloodline of my family. Literally everybody in my family is a dancer. Like pretty much literally everybody on both sides. My father used to be a b-boy. My grandmother on his side, she was a dancer as well. She did the disco thing. You know, she was hard body into the disco, you know, scene. My grandmother on my mom's side, she's also a dancer. She was on Jet magazine back in the day for winning like a disco competition, disco queen thing, disco competition from back then. My mother, she's the dancehall queen of Virginia, I think she won a Florida title. She won a lot of titles in the United States. I think she got like maybe 30-something trophies from winning dancehall stuff. I think that's how much it was when she counted. But yeah, my mother's a dancehall queen. My aunt, she also won a dancehall queen title. They had a team called Champion Bubblers. that was a team or whatever. They worked with Baby Cham before, you know, all kinds of things. The start of it though was my grandmother's African dance group. We have an African dance and arts group. That's where it all started. All the dance and stuff started there. Then it became dancehall over time. Growing up, I was a martial artist. I was heavily into fighting because it was inspired by my grandfather. But I was heavily into martial arts. I was doing martial arts. I was taking Taekwondo. I took karate. I was taking Kung Fu. I was taking those three. Those are my three main styles growing up. I wasn't really interested in dance. I kind of was, but I was a little shy. One day I saw my mother and them dancing. It was hot. One day I saw a guy named Sean De Niro and Troy from Suspense in New York, in Brooklyn. Now, these two were dancing. I saw that dance, man, and it just captivated me. I'd never seen nothing like it. It was just doing something where they was popping their shoulder. I didn't know what that was. I thought it was like, at first I thought it was some weird type of Jamaican pop locking. I just thought, I didn't know what it was. I said, yo, it's some Jamaican joint, but it looked like pop locking a little bit. I used to call it that. I used to be like pop locking. I was ignorant. I didn't know, you know, that it was called popping. I was just one of them dude, like an average dude that knew about dance. I had like this amount of level of knowledge of dance. I didn't know, you know, but I said, damn, that pop locking shit crazy, yo, that's crazy. I said, that's some Jamaican. I said, yo, how you do that to the Jamaican music? That's crazy. Cause I saw him waving and stuff. And then I saw him doing something else. And I was like, what is that? When you go to the sound like that, I started asking him questions, Sean. And then he was like, yo, this is called the Brook Up, my guy. It's called Brook Up. Like, this from Brooklyn. Like, you know, it's not just probably, we add stuff in it, but it has its own flavors, its own techniques. He's like, yo, check out BSV. Know what I mean? So I did. I went online, started checking out BSV. I had a little laptop at the time. I checked out BSV. I was like, oh, okay, that's hot. Like, that was hot. I saw Ghost and I saw Poba as my favorite two dancers at the time. I love Poba the most though. Poba is like my extra inspiration. And then but who made me want to dance ever, like seriously start off like for a fact, is absolutely Troy from Suspense. There's never, without a doubt in my mind. It was to the point where, because I saw Troy dancing on a Dirty Fridays DVD. This was in VA. This was a Sunday, and Gary Chucks is a famous DJ in Jamaica. He came to Virginia.
Okay.
And Troy was doing a dance. He was battling against a dude that's from the Black Roses crew that was trained by Obobo. You know what I mean? Yes, his name is Famous You. You know what I mean? He got trained. And I'm like, yo, I saw Troy do something crazy. They danced to the drum lane rhythm. And I saw him doing like a crazy, like moving his body a certain way. I'd never seen that in my life, bro. You know what I mean? It was just absolutely amazing to me. So every day when I was younger, and by the way, I grew up in hotels. I forgot to add that part. I grew up in hotels. And I need to say this because when we moved into finally had a home, my first time I had my own room. When we moved into that, I was about 16, going on 17 roughly. We moved into a crib. In that place, that's when I was more private. I had Troy in that video had a brown, he had like a brown jacket on, like cut out or whatever, brown jacket joint, whatever like that, like a vest. I'm sorry, like a brown vest. He had white stripes. Yo, I got a coat and I cut it out to look just like his. I got a hat and all that. I got the hat, everything. I started copying him every day. I started trying to do it. I kept trying to do the Brook Up every single day. I was learning how to do it from him, watching him over and over and over again. And eventually I met him. And then they was able to show me more in person. But that's why I started dancing. It's really Troy. Troy from Suspense Crew and Flex in Brooklyn is the one that got me to start dancing.
Shout out to the whole Suspense Crew.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was Troy for sure. Because Troy lives here in Virginia. Yeah. He lives here in Virginia. Yep. He lives here in Hampton, Virginia, where Iverson is from. He lives there. You know, so yeah. He it was because of him I started dancing. If I wouldn't have seen him, I wouldn't have wanted to dance, man. You know, definitely. Yeah, definitely not. I would still be doing fighting or something by now. I probably would have been like, I don't know, some professional fighter or something and just took that more serious. But dancing changed the whole course of my life. My whole destiny changed.
Every dancer goes through an emulation phase. So pretty much you just said you really looked up to Troy. Like,
yes.
What was you emulating growing up, coming into your dancing identity?
I was emulating Troy. I was emulating Ghost. I was emulating Poba. I was emulating over time Bones, because Bones. Now, I was told by BSV not to copy flex, copy flexing and stuff like that. But at that time, I was like, I don't care, whatever. I'm still gonna try to, do something or whatever. Cause my friend was just like, bro, you should really learn that. You should really like learn how to apply that, in your, your style, whatever. So when I saw like Battlefest had like a different website at the time, and there was a thing where Bone did a freestyle. He was just doing all these connects, and I kept trying to emulate it. I was trying to like figure it out. That was later on though, down the line, like maybe 2-3 years later. But I used to emulate Bones heavy, man. I had a phase where I was trying to emulate Vibes. I had a phase where I was trying to emulate Chic as well. They were my favorite dancers. These are people, to me, they were the pinnacle of flex dance to me.
Okay.
I thought like they were like unbelievably incredible. Even though I was told by BSV not to look at and not to watch flexing, I still was watching anyway.
Okay.
Main reason is because, well, they have BSV sessions featuring flexers. So I was still So I saw Swiss. Over time, I saw Swiss. I saw Manny. I saw many kinds of people, man. And that just inspired me more to want to become a flexor over time. Definitely, man. But yeah, those are my main emulations, though. Chic Vibes, Poba Ghost. Storyboard definitely too. There was a phase because I learned from him. At one point, definitely.
Okay.
Despite me and his differences at times, I definitely learned from him. No, without a doubt. He helped me out with animation, movement wise, but animation, like the effects of it. He didn't break down the movement all the way, but he did tell me like how to go into it and how to have the mindset to do it. I never really worked on it because I was always a technical guy. Okay. So it was really hard for me to finally go into the motion and movement. I just didn't think it was for me at one point. Now I think it is for me. I train it now, but back then, no, I definitely didn't train it like that. He used to hate that. He didn't like that I was always trying to be so technical all the time. But yeah, I'm just a technical guy. That's how I am.
Feeling that ain't a bad thing.
Yeah, right.
So now you in VA, but at the same time, again, you're in New York a lot.
Yes.
So you're in New York a lot, and you would develop a relationship with your uncle, which is Blue.
Yes.
So take us there, like, because I understand he plays a role in why you have great glide.
Yes.
Because
Blue, but
people don't really talk about Blue like that. And for my POV, I can understand why, because necessarily it's like he's not putting himself out there for dancing. It's
right.
If he does it, then in your mind, depending on how well you've seen him do it, it's like, yo, Blue,
yeah, definitely.
Conversation like, yo,
definitely,
Blue,
definitely.
So
now, Blue is a major turning point. So I was telling my earlier like who I was trying to reflect on and become similar to or build off of image wise. Yeah, Blue was a major turning point in my dance career because Blue is the establishment of the flexing version of Adisa. This is how I became a flexor officially. And this is also how I learned gliding. So there would be no Adisa gliding, without that.
All right. So what would you say you were, as far as a style, before you would learn how to become a glider? Like, how would you look at yourself before you found your feet? How would you look at yourself?
Yeah. Before I found my feet, I would have just really been a simple, like the connecting side of flexing in a sense of like connecting with like motions and movements. I still was doing some Brookup-esque stuff.
Yeah.
And I did learn it more properly from like certain OGs, like Aku, for example. He's like a back in the day OG that's well known on the BSV side. But I would have been more in the motion / connecting kind of thing, definitely, if I wasn't a glider. I would like to say that for sure. I also had very prominent floor ability too. I definitely was, before I became a glider, I was doing floor stuff because I wasn't good at it. I used to watch Blue and them do it, and P and them, they used to just maybe be like, I used to feel away. I used to be like, damn, I can't get that. That's too hard, man. Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm not gonna be able to get that. That's insane. You gotta be trained like for years. I don't know. I just didn't think, I thought it was special. Like the way they was talking to me about it, especially P was trying to make it seem like people are like, you can't get it. It's not for everybody. it's special, it's for special people. Like that's how he was trying to put it in my head, you know, at that time. Yeah, you know how people get with dancing, you know. But yeah, you know, they get real spiritual and deep, and I get it, you know. But me, I don't look at it that way. I'm a very logical, reasonable guy. I think whatever you incline your mind to, you can accomplish it. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Whatever you incline your mind to. So I just simply incline my mind to gliding, and that's what happened. You know, Blue taught me a lot of things. P also taught me some great things. Shout out to P. He taught me a technique called the paintbrush, and I was able to continue my flow from there too. But yeah, I probably would have been on the floor, you know, connecting and movement, you know, if I didn't pick up gliding, you know. Once I picked up gliding, that changed everything, you know. And then there's there's another person that is another pivotal point in my career of change as well, and that would be Jason. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, because necessarily he didn't really do a lot of the leagues that were currently taking place or prior were taking place, which would be like the Battle Fest and the Louds and stuff like that. So correct me if I'm wrong. Like you didn't really participate in those.
No, I didn't. No, I actually didn't.
You were around and behind the scenes.
I was always behind the scenes. I was always on a low. I didn't start officially coming out. To that time, I really put out that footage. Well, Brian actually put it up, one of the OGs. Shout outs to him. You know, I know me and him also has differences sometimes, but whatever. Shout outs to him. He's also a major inspiration. Yeah, he's also a major inspiration as well. Gliding wise, I definitely respect him a lot. I think his glide is awesome. His style is awesome. So, anywho, Brian actually posted the.
All right, wait. Before we get there,
sure.
Let's talk about when you linked up with Jason, because now you joined this Game Breaker team.
Yes.
And Jason was someone who was and is someone that is established in the flex community. Like he has a history already for people.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I met Jason because I met Jason through Storm because I went to Storm's house one day. Storm wanted to talk to me about spirituality. Me and Storm always debate and talk about spirituality. I went there originally just to meet him for the first time. Jason wasn't really saying much. He didn't know me, so he just quiet. Me and Storm was talking, had a good amount of words. It was a good meetup. The second time, it was for a debate. So Storm was like, I challenge you, your system, and your teacher who taught you. So I brought my teacher over there. The results of that, you know, you got to just, you know, you got to hear the story. That's another situation, but it was interesting. It was an interesting meetup. The second time, that's when me and Jason got a little cool. So then I started talking to Jason every now and then. I think it was on Facebook. And then finally, one day, which brought us together officially, one day I got on the bus to go to New York. And he was up there, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, it was like fate or something. It was like destiny. So when he was there, he was just like, yo, bro, like, so what you want to do with your style? Like, you know what I mean? At the time, that's when I was in the Chic Vibes emulation phase. So I was like, bro, I want to be a bone breaker, bro. I want to be the greatest bone breaker in the world. You can't tell me different. I want to be a bone breaker. He was like, but wait, if I'm correct, ain't you the guy that kind of like, you know how to kind of like glide, right? Like I heard from some people that you kind of got all right feet. You know what I mean? I was like, I mean, I guess, you know, like, I mean, yeah, I suppose, but I still want to be a bone breaker though. He's like, I mean, yeah, I could train you with the bone breaks. He said, because I help Sheik stretch and get his arms like that. I helped Vibes stretch out, even though he was already, you know, limber. He said, I helped him. He said, so I can help you get that. He was like, but why don't you, I'm sorry, it's a mosquito. I'm trying to get him up out of here. He was like, why don't you just learn like how to master your gliding? He's like, why you give that up? Because I was trying to give it up. Because I was very discouraged about it. You know, P got in my head about it. He was saying that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to get it. Blue was just really good at it. So I was a little weaker minded at the time. So I let them get in my head about that. Well, him get in my head about that. So I was like, he was like, yeah, okay. You know, so then we went outside to a break. They always do a break. Like when you going from VA to New York, they always do like a break or whatever, like in New Jersey. So we was there. And he was like, yo, bro, let me see something right quick. Glide right quick, bro. And I glided for him, and he was like, "Oh my God, bro, nah, bro." He's like, "I know you want to learn like bone breaking stuff, but bro, come on, bro, please learn that. You know, keep mastering that." So we just had a good conversation. We just talking about flexing. He was telling me his position and all that in the world with the flexing. And after that, one day I hit him up. I said, "Yo, bro, your battle with Kool-Aid was, I mean, with Liquid was unbelievable. And then I saw him at Dream, like him dreaming him as well, like New Era versus Surface. I said, bro, I've never seen your style. Your style is bugged out. I've never seen that kind of animation. I said, bro, can you please teach me? I want you to be my teacher, bro. And he said, what? Are you serious? For real? He's like, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to people just straight up saying that, asking that. He said, in New York, they don't be doing that. They'll just like be front. They'll be like, yo, you want to lab, bro? Let's lab, bro. And that's their way of saying, yo, like, I want you to be my teacher. He was like, but you just asking me straight up, like, can you be? I said, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? But I just know I want you to teach me, bro. He said, yeah, sure. But in exchange, I need you to really teach me your gliding. And I said, all right, cool. So that's what happened. Me and him got up together, and you know, I helped him train and stuff like that, lose a lot of weight. We working out and stuff like that. But then he taught me animation, man. And that was the greatest of the teachings I ain't never seen that kind of stuff. Like construct animation is like a whole nother world of flick. It's like another world. So he taught me that. He taught me how to do that. And that's what gave birth to like my initial creativity of how I create stuff in my style. You know, like all my crazy glides comes from the texture of that animation style. Okay. You know? Yes, indeed. So my textures come from Jason's teachings, you know, and I just took it to my level. That's all. I just made it my thing. I call it space-time, you know, effect of space-time animation. But yeah, I just took it to that level because I looked at a lot of textures. I started studying space-time and stuff and seeing how things look when it moves through space, particles when it's going through continuums. Yeah. So I started like emulating animations and movements based off of that. You know what I mean? And there it was. You know what I mean? Jason was a big part too, man. Jason and Blue is like the biggest transformations for real in terms of my style.
Yeah, also Jason and Blue.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as today, that'd be Asha. But if you want to go, if you want to get up,
we'll get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now, with being with Jason, I know Jason himself looks up to other people and is around other people. So, would you ever really get to train under Tafari? Because you big him up a lot. So
yes, I did. Yes, I was gonna get to those. This is my current, this modern day, this this century, this time.
Okay, so before we get to him, all right.
Yes.
Let's talk about how did you and Brian link up?
Let's see. Oh, I hit him on Facebook, just like I did Tafari and Asha and Gutta. That's where it all started too. The whole me talking to OGs all started from Gutta. You know, I initially the link came from Gutta. Me and Gutta got close first.
All right. So with that being said, explain that then.
Okay. So one day I said, I'm a very inquisitive person. I always want to know the history of something. I always want to know the foundation of something. I did it with all my religious practices, spiritual systems, hence the reason why I left them. I did that with them. So when I did that with them, I found out that truth. So I said the same thing for dance. I need to do that so I could find out the truth.
Right.
Yeah. So I went to Gutta first. He seemed to be more cheerful and cool and happy and all that. So I just hit him up first. I said, I'm going to talk to him. So I did. I hit him up. He was mad cool, you know, great energy, great vibe. Me and him got real close, man. He came to VA. He also showed me a few things as well, my style. But we got real close. He taught some classes out here. From there, I hit up Reg. You know, he was responsive, kind of, sort of. You know, he was responsive at first a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely he's more nowadays, though. But back then, not so much. What else? Who else? I hit up before him. I hit up him. I hit up Tafari. He didn't answer immediately, though. It took him a while to respond. Okay. I hit up, because he's really reclusive. I hit up Tafari. Then I hit up, it was another OG. It was a few other OGs I hit up and everything like that. Jay Don, I got a chance to link up with him too. I hit him up too. I tried to ask around like how I can get in contact with him as well. That's what started everything, and I'll get there eventually too. But so through Gutta is where a lot of things happen. Me and Asha's link, like the link of energy, came from through Gutta. But me and Tafari was just on its own. From there, it just opened up an energy. Me and Tafari, it responded one day, and I asked him, I said, bro, can you please teach me? I want to learn. I want to learn from you. Whatever you got, just please teach me. I want to learn the ways of the old school flexing. Show me the old school stuff of flexing. Because the new school stuff seems very diluted and incomplete. And I want the old stuff, because when I look at y'all dance, y'all look like some special type of people. Like, I don't know. It look like Yeah, y'all like a actual, like, I don't know, a different race of classification of humans. So I need to figure out what that is. And I want to know everything about it. So that's what happened. I went with him as well. He taught me everything too. He told me a lot of the knowledge of the histories. Same for Gutter. Gutter told me a lot of the knowledge of the history. Asha told me a lot of the knowledge of the history. Then other OGs in Brooklyn, like Snow Nasty, another OG that was with Snow Nasty, he told me a lot of the pre-Flex Brookup era history as well. I learned some stuff from BSV, historically. I was really searching for history, but also scrolls, you know, and I got that from Tafari OD too. You know, Tafari definitely was another change. He was a change, you know, those minor changes that makes a big difference, you know. That was him. Okay. That was him.
So now,
yeah, that was him.
Brian.
Now, Brian was, I hit him up, you know, and it's the same thing for him. He was closed off. He was very reserved and closed off. He wasn't really trying to, like, he told me history though. He told me his side of the story, his history, his views. And I agree. I understand him. I definitely understood how he felt about everything. He also told me some gliding tips. You know, he did. He gave me some tips. He gave me 2 tips on gliding. He asked me not to share with people, so I'm not gonna do that. I respect that. Yeah, but he did give me,
my boy.
Yeah. But he did give me 2 gliding tips, and they were very useful. One of them I knew, the other one I didn't know, and it was really good. You know, one of them dealt with creating patterns, you know, and that was helpful. That was very helpful. So Brian definitely helped me out with you know, history, basically. More so, he helped me see like a different perspective of history, looking at Brookup, looking at everything that they were doing at the time, the stuff that they was incorporating in the Brookup, you know, all kinds of things. He helped me see a lot of that. You know what I mean? He really did. You know, so that shifted a lot. So one day Brian just was like, yo, he was just like, yo, bro, like, yo, what you doing? Like, we out to the east. What's up? After that, I was like, all right, you know, whatever, you know. So he picked me up, picked me, Junior, and it was me, Junior, and Cal. We all went together to go to J Don house, and that's how that situation with me and Pop Lottie, you know, started. You know, for the battle.
Lottie battled.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to Pop Lottie, man. I love him. You said what?
You caught a body.
Hey, man, look, man, I ain't got nothing.
Pop Lottie, I got love for you, dog.
I ain't got nothing to do with all that, man.
If you getting fixed out here on porches, that's what we saw.
Yo, y'all crazy, son.
And Brian you said Brian uploaded that footage.
Brian uploaded it. He did. He uploaded it. Yeah, and that's how I got connected with Mr. Wiggles. It's all crazy how you connect.
I saw a lot of people share, comment, like from so many different communities. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it went crazy. It was insane, bro. I don't even know why. Yo, I did the dumbest thing ever, deleting my Facebook, deleting my Instagram at that time, because I could have, like, you know, benefited off of that greatly. But a lot of communities, man, Slick Dog and Mr. Wiggles and all of them from the Papa community, they went crazy on it. Old school gliders, even from their community, like, they went crazy on it. Crumpers, Memphis Jukin community, everybody, Light Feet, Flexing. That's when everything changed.
Virals.
The whole world, like, it was crazy. I was like, damn, I was getting hit up from international. It was crazy, man. It was insane. It was a great day, man. You know, so that changed everything. When people saw that, it was just like, dang, like, I ain't never seen that move before. But that move,
that was really, at least from my POV, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it just felt like that was your introduction into the dance world, like, for real. Yeah. That's what it really felt like, because
pretty much.
For the people that knew you behind the scenes, like, we converse about you, converse with you, and then it's like, one of the big debates was really at that time was, you're nice, you're not battling.
Right, yeah, definitely.
You ain't battling.
Yes.
You ain't battling. They like, he got to get in the field. He got to
get in the field. I get it. Yeah.
He got to get in the field, and that's what a lot of dancers were saying. So I'm saying, like,
so yeah, definitely. That was definitely my introductory, and I battled that day.
Damn, Lottie.
Yeah, you stupid. The person that you don't.
I put you on blast.
Nah, so chill, man. That's my bro, man. I love that man. He the dude.
Yeah, on the porch, my son.
I'm glad he pulled that. I'm glad he pulled that out of me, man. Him, 8Ball, but J Don started it. You know what I mean? J Don started it.
You know what is dope though, because I like how you actually packaged it in a sense where you named your moves, like everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, Like this is everything that happened this day. I could tell you, break it down for you. This, like, like the way you broke it down to give to the world. Like I felt like, yo, that was dope. Like,
I appreciate that.
Separated everything because it was literally like, in a sense, the whole thing. However, the part that was being promoted the most, if you had to like split the clip, was the Braille pattern.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was, you know, it's an interesting move. And I created that move, you know, after labbing with Tafari, I was able to create the understanding of that move because Tafari gave me a mindset, you know, from the old school flex mentality that led to the invention of that move. So with that mindset, I had got into a zone, you know what I mean? And that zone led me to creating the Braille. Right. You know, it was a great move. I created it out here in Virginia, and you know, it was in front of Blue, and a lot of people was watching. It was an event we was at. Jason won that event. It was like a tournament, but Blue was on the side. We was dancing and stuff, and I was like, yo, bro, what if I do this, bro? And I did it, and then the whole venue, it was, everybody got quiet and looked at it, and it was like, bro, nah, bro. Everybody's like, bro, do that again, bro. Everybody in the event, they just stopped, and they just like, bro, do that again, bro. And I did it again, and everybody just went crazy. That was the first time I ever really did it.
Yeah, and then especially after you did that video on the porch, like you started to show yourself more.
Yeah, I did.
Because I'm correct. Y'all started to throw sessions in VA.
Yep, test your mic.
Go on. So it was like you started to project yourself more.
Yeah, test your mic, man. You know, we had touched your mic before that day, of course, but like you said, it's true. I was definitely undercut, like really low key. I was always, that's because I was dealing with a lot of fear and self-doubt, you know what I mean? Like in my abilities and stuff like that. You know, the person that ended that doubt was J-Don. J-Don is the one that ended that. So the reason I'm battling is because of him. You know, I attribute all my success in that realm, you know, well, for what I've done so far. My ability to just push myself and just do it come from J-Don. You know what I mean? J-Don is the one that did that, because the reason being is because the first time I met J-Don, he was like, oh yeah, you that nice gliding nigga. He dapped me up, gave me a hug or whatever. He said, all right. So in order for you to come in here, you got to battle, my nigga. After that, that's when it happened. I was mad scared. I was like, oh, no, whoa. Because there's mad people there. Bro, it was too, you know how I get over there. It's too many people. It was crazy. Sticks was there that day. Junior was there that day. Everybody was there that day. It was too many people there. Mad people on the couch, was girls there. It was too much. So I was like, oh, man. So he put me on the spot. After that, I got in there, like, barely. I'd be in there 10 minutes or so. After that, he put on music. He's like, yo, what's up? He just started acting mad crazy. Then he battled me himself. He's like, nah, you got to battle, my, because you got blah, blah, blah. After that, he was coaching me while I was battling him, like telling me, you know, the mindset that I have, telling me how to utilize my glides, telling me how to package and present them. He said, yo, you need world building. He said, when you develop character and world building ability with your gliding, you're going to be retarded. He said, you're going to be able to sell your glides more. So there's mindsets that he gave me. It was crazy. Then when Gutter came in, he was like, nah, you got to battle Gutter. He was like, nah, go ahead, blah, blah, blah. So then Gutter went. He just automatically started. Everybody like, oh, he just started. He said what's up at first. But after that, he just started. He's like, blah, blah, blah. And while he was dancing, he was like, you see, nah, he an OG? He was like, fuck that. Nah, it don't matter, you OG. It don't matter. To him. Blah, blah, blah. He just gave me the mindset. You know what I mean? So that energy, it just awoke something different in my body. It's different. And it made me lose all fear. After that, I didn't care after that. I lost all fear. It was gone. J-Don, I give him much, you know, respect and love for that. You know what I mean? Because that day, that happened because with Lottie, you know, he was drunk. He was just talking, you know. I love my dude, man. He funny. He was just talking. He was like, yo, I'll fix any nigga on the punch. And blah, blah, blah. He just talking, you know. I don't know who set it up. I felt the energy. I was like, yeah, I'm about to battle. I can feel it. I was sick that day. I had the flu. But I was like, yo, I could tell I'm about to battle. So I was like, yo, Jay, let me use your bathroom right quick, bro. Because I had to use the bathroom. I had to pee and stuff. It was cold. So I did that one shot, and I came back out, and he was like, yo, and Cal was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna front. You got to see Lottie, bro. Niggas want to see you, bro. You got to see Lottie, my bro. And he's like, he do it to everybody, bro. You got to see him. I was like, all right, bet. Put on the music, you know? And after that, yeah, that's when that battle happened, man, you know? But that day changed everything. Like, that day, like, made me be like, nah, I got to do this more. But I still didn't do it more after that. The next time I did it was just in crib battles. Like, for example, I battled Pee-wee in the crib. I lost, though, to that. I lost to him on that day. I think I lost. Pee-wee, Rao, a few other people, you know, from Surface and stuff. I ended up battling certain people, you know, like a lot of street type stuff. Like not all of it recorded. The thing with me and Optimus had got recorded, but like it was only one round and it was just Optimus. I didn't get a chance to, like, we didn't get my parts. Optimist. It was dope. I had like a good, like, you know, like little in the
Who
crib
won that?
type.
Even though it was 1 round.
No, it wasn't 1 round. It was 3 rounds. To me,
who won
I
that?
did. To me,
Oh.
I did.
Oh. Oh.
To me.
Oh.
But nah, he was going crazy. No, he was going crazy. That day was dope, man. That's the day. That's the day I was introducing.
Catch you.
That's the day. Nah, man, I love him, man. That's the day I was introducing. I said that I was G was there too. Lil G was there, but that's the day I was introducing like animation and stuff. I was showing Optimus about like, you know, the stuff I was doing from Jason, like, you know, like animation wise. You know what I mean? We had a battle because like it was like a little bet, you know, like a funny little bet about him smoking and all that. You know, I ain't want to be around like smoke at the time and all of that. And I was like, yo, if I beat you in dancing, bro, like you can't smoke for 2 weeks. I said, but if you beat me right now, I'll smoke with you right now. and that's how that started. It was funny. But anyway, yeah, it was dope though. You know, I never did any like in the like ring stuff. The only time I ever did that, the first time was Flex in Brooklyn Reunion.
And you battled
Flex in Brooklyn Reunion. Kels actually is the one that got that, you know, to start out. He saw me. As soon as he saw me, he was like, then he went up to Ozzy, and then he told Ozzy about me and Gio, and then that's how me and Gio, you know, went at it. You know what I mean? Me and Gio went at it. It was great. That was awesome, man.
How did that feel? How did that excitement? What was that?
That was insane. Yo, I was afraid, right? Walking up to the stage, I felt nervous, right? Because I saw all the people. That was all because of that. But when I got on the stage, I felt so confident. Like I felt amazing, bro. I felt like I was the king. Like I could take over, you know, and have fun. I just felt really confident. But I was on my last leg of energy. Me and Kwame have went at it outside and stuff like that. Plus we had did the performance, and my stamina is really low. That's one of my major weak points. See, one of my weaknesses of my style is that it's so control based, and I use a lot of energy to do it. Right. So I easily tire, you know, at times. So that's what they're working with me with now, you know, stamina, you know. So
for a dancer.
Yes. So I didn't go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep for like, I went to sleep at like 4. We was practicing, you know, classical flex stuff, you know, people practicing at the last minute for shows. So I was practicing and stuff like that. I was practicing outside 4 something with Sheik and all of them. And after that, I woke up at like 8 something. So I'm already shot. I didn't eat until getting to that place. So my energy's still shot, but I still managed to perform. After that, did the whole thing with Kwame. And then I came inside, and then they said, as soon as I was done that, I was sweating still. As soon as I was done that, they said, get on the stage to battle Gio. So I was really tired.
Kwame?
Huh?
What made you battle Kwame?
I felt like something was gonna happen that night. So I was just like, let's just get over with. I said, what's up? You trying to battle outside? Like, you know, so me and him went outside. You know. He was like, all right, yeah. He was like, okay, cool. And me and him went outside, you know, and then you know, that happened. It was dope, man. I was like, yeah.
What was that? Who won that exchange?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think it was like I think it was an exchange, man. You know, I don't really see that, you know, looking back at it, I don't see that as something serious. Not even like me and the Optimist thing either. Like, I don't really look at those like serious things. The reason I say that is because you can tell when people just sparring energy and they're not really doing everything, but they just doing something. It's like a spar almost, you know. Somebody
get called out. Listen, I'm taking it with the grain of salt.
You taking it. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it is.
Once the conversation started, oh, I seen you over here. I caught you, and it's like, yo, you.
Yeah. I know. It was dope. I was definitely more punchlining. You know what I mean? I was definitely more punchlining in that situation. You know, he definitely went ham. No, we both are opposites in a lot of ways. You know, I have aspects that he don't utilize all the way. He got aspects I don't utilize all the way. At that time, you know, in that angle. And that's why me and him was collaborating a lot. You know, man, Kwame was collaborating a lot, you know, at one point, you know, about, you know, what we were doing with Glide and how he's going to take it to the next level, you know. So, yeah, that's pretty much the situation with that. But, yeah, so right from there, I had one on stage. I was like, yo, I feel like I'm a battle, so let me just warm up again. Like, you know, that was the situation with Kwame. When I just could feel it. I could feel the energy. I felt it was getting too weird. I just felt it. I knew that I was getting ready to have to battle. I just knew. So when I went inside, sure enough, I got on the mic. I saw Kills. I said, yep, I'm about to get ready to battle. So I started stretching in the corner, shaking, getting more, you know. then he said, yo, let me get he messed my name up. Let me get a decent to the stage. He messed my name up though. Then after that, he said another word other than a decent. But anyway, he said decent, then he said Geo. You know what I mean? Then I was like, oh, okay. So then I went to the stage, and that's how that happened. That was hot. That was hot. But I felt good getting on that stage, man. I said, this is for me. Like, I feel like it's for me. Like, I said, I think, like, you know, I should get into the world of battling, like, heavy. You know, like, I mean, from there, that made me excited.
You definitely did behind the scenes, and you did on the scene stuff when you were ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I remember at one point, you called out Ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, is that something you feel like as a glider or just a dancer in general, you look forward to that still?
Not really. That was really because it was personal. You know, I was being called out of my name and stuff. There was some back and forth stuff going on and some behind the scenes stuff as well. And I admit to that, you know, even on my end of faults and stuff like that, you know, I was saying things that I shouldn't have said to other people, you know, that got back to him. He was definitely saying things about me or whatever that was getting to me as well, you know. So when it got to a disrespectful point, you know, most people would fight for the things that he was saying. I didn't want to fight. Instead, I wanted to dance. You know what I mean? You know, so I went to battle him because of that. You know, it wasn't nothing, you know, it wasn't nothing, you know, crazy. It wasn't, I didn't want to battle him because I wanted to take some spot in gliding or whatever. I don't care about that. I want to tell Brian and him, I really, they think that I want to take some kind of, bro, I don't care about that, bro. That's not my thing.
So my question to you is, whether you still feel like that or not, at that time, when you wanted Brian and you wanted Ghost, regardless of what they believe, is your intent or was your intent at that time still, I'm going to beat y'all?
My intent was definitely, you know, when it got disrespectful, yes, it was that, yes.
So
only because it got disrespectful.
That, yo, at the end of the day, y'all ain't got to bow down. But on some LeBron, y'all got to put respect over.
But y'all got to put respect. Yeah, definitely. And I had a lot to say with that, bro. Yes, I had a lot of intentions with that. I would love
to see those.
Yeah, I was definitely, like, I really was working, like, you know, for that to occur, bro, for real, son. Yeah, because once you do that to me, it's like, damn, you know, I got to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I was always in defense. It was a lot of people that were saying things and starting and stirring stuff up that wasn't, you know, from my end. And that was causing confusion and making things occur and, you know, happen and spark. You know, for example, the initial thing that started the rift between me and Ghost was because me and Storm had an exchange in here in Virginia. Me and Storm had an exchange or whatever like that. And they saw me do a crazy glide, just like the bro. Stick saw it, Mikey saw it, Dredd saw it, and other people saw it. They were here in Virginia when this happened. Okay. And when they saw that happen, Dredd went crazy, and Dredd was like, nah, fuck that. You better than Ghost. I'm going to put it on Facebook. You better than Ghost. He was like, fuck that. You better than Ghost. I'm going to put it on Facebook. And that's what he did. I was like, bro, chill, bro. But he still did it. He put it on Facebook that I was better than him. And that is what started all of that, literally. From there, creeping up the other years, that's when it kept reoccurring, and people kept talking about it. And then Ghost was like, fuck out of here. Like, they little niggas and blah, 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 you know. And that's when that happened.
But in a sense, you believe that it was only recurring as much as it did because necessarily you as a dancer was getting better and everybody was...
I think so too. Yeah, that had a part to do with it. Yeah, definitely. Every time I put out a hot...
At some point, like I said, like it became a thing where if based on what J. Don helped you to get over, which is that fear, like you became more available in showing yourself to the world and your talent.
Yeah, definitely.
And every time you showed it, I can honestly sit here and say, yo, son is one of the top gliders right now, bro.
Right. Definitely.
Doing the work. He's doing the work. Like
Yeah. I appreciate that, bro. So, yeah, like that had a lot to do with it though, bro. That had a lot to do with it for sure. Like ever since I started like increasing my power level, yes, like I was being more put on the radar. Cause as soon as I did the Braille video, for example, he started like somebody had said something about me. They didn't even say they was like I like storyboard and I like a DC. They're like my favorite dancers, you know what I mean? P took that as like an insult. So he just started tagging, he tagged me and started just like, yo, I'll show you the Braille.
What?
He put his bench therapy video up. He put his video with Flume up 1.2, you know, it had a bunch of views at that time, like millions. It still do now. I think it's like in the higher millions now. Back then, yeah, he started going ham. I was like, yo, what the? Bro, I don't understand.
Lot of boys.
it's so sad, bro, because, you know, I show so much love to them, bro. You know, I don't know. I know, you know, a lot of dudes up there, they go through a lot of stuff. So in their head, they think somebody that's showing love and is good got secret bad intentions. They think that in their mind. They really believe that.
Like that.
But that's not me, though. They don't get that, though, you know? So it is what it is. I'm tired of proving it to them. So it is, you know, it is what it is, bro. I always show love. I still do, you know, but that's what happened at that time. You know, he was on some joint like that. You know, he started thinking like, and he started taking me to be a person that was going against them as well, you know, but it was never that way. You know, I never wanted to oppose him. You know, I never thought about none of that with Brian and none of them. Not even Ghost. Like, I didn't feel that way even with him either, you know, initially until, you know, certain things started being said, you know, behind the scenes. So it was what it was, you know. But yeah, yeah, he definitely put that up. I remember that. It was funny. I said, nah. So, yeah.
So how was it? I believe we might have dived in it a little bit, but how was it really being game breakers? Because now you're on a dance team, and the dance team is mostly like y'all split up because it's between New York and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So how are y'all working that out as a team? Because you don't necessarily hear game breakers as much as before when y'all were pushing it.
Yeah, as much as we was more. Yeah, definitely. It was decent, man. I came up with the idea. I told Jason and Storm, yo, let's make a team, y'all. They was declining it at first, you know, because they had a lot of experiences with their, you know, situations in the past with teams. Right. I was telling them, I don't care, man. Let's do a team. I think we'd be hot. We just do it. We all out here in VA. We'll be unstoppable. Let's just make a team and run this joint, you know. We already got Test Your Might. That's our event and stuff. It was featured in Season Magazine. We started doing really well with that event. Started getting big in Virginia, you know, well known. So I was like, let's just get a team, start going ham, start doing parties, all kind of things. Let's start going to the next level. It was declined at first, but over time, me and Jason was stopped by a lady at a gas station. She saw us kind of dancing, and she started recording us. And she said, yo, so what team y'all got? Then I looked at Jason, started smirking. That was what initially started, like, okay, we're going to make a team now. You know what I mean? Because there was too many signs that came up. Then after that, I told Jason, I was always coming up with the names of stuff. I always name stuff. I'm always naming things. So I told Jason, how about you name this team? You know what I mean? I think you should name it because y'all should really be the heads of it because y'all more experienced in the flex stuff than I am. I don't know nothing about nothing. Y'all should just do it because y'all are from that place. So you should just name it. So he did. He named it. He called it Game Breakers. I thought it was hot. You know what I mean? So I went with it. We managed it well. We had a lot of good ideas, you know, a lot of great understandings. But like most teams, most groups and stuff, especially people with Black people in it, you know, it's always clashing egos, differences of views, differences of opinion, differences of thought. You know, it's always something, man. You know, it's always something. But we did great. You know?
So my question to you is, whether it's dancing or not, what do you believe makes a good team? Because I always talk about having a great team, and usually people just find themselves in some weird, strange position where it's just like, all right, team thing not really working out, like how I envision it, because necessarily it's like, I want to do the Jordan with the Bulls. I want to do the LeBron with whatever team he with. I want to do the winning thing. And in my mind, it's like, I know what it takes to win, but it's like working with certain people is like, they don't really see that. It's like something is in their way.
Right.
And, you know, we could all get here faster if we did what we were supposed to with unifying our visions. So that means everybody got to play their part in each other's vision.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah, definitely, man.